Hi everyone! In today's video, I'm going to be making a card holder that will actually fit in this coffin bag. This bag I had gotten off of Temu a while back, and then I customized it with my Rocky Horror Picture Show fabric. I do customize wallets, but the thing is, it doesn't, I guess it kind of fits, but when you zip it up, let me just see, because I do have a Rocky Horror Show picture purse, but you see that bulge. I don't know if it's picking up on camera. It just doesn't fit to my complete liking, especially when you put your phone inside of it. Ipso facto, it would probably just be easier to have a smaller option. This is one that I had made a while back. I don't think I ever made a video of it just because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I literally just made everything up as I went. The border is actually handles that came with the original wallets that I customized. So I just have like a bag of these lying around, and I just think it makes it look a little more professional. But you can see, like, obviously I have some glue on the sides. This actually glows in the dark, and the snowflake was painted black, but over time the paint came off. Like I said, it was a trial and error learning thing. So this is how it looks when it glows. So I wanted it to be kind of like illuminated snow with that snowflake on top. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. All right, back to here. This one won't have any glow in the dark feature or anything. This fabric will just be plain on the back. I think I enclosed it on a piece of cardboard if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea. Again, we are just winging this. So I'm gonna cut some fabric out. I'm gonna treat it with OD coat, and then we'll meet back up when it comes to assembling the card holder. On second note, it's probably better that we do this process together. So you see me using an OD coat card kind of as my base measurements, and it's the same size as a credit card, so it will suffice. I'm also using that original card holder I made as a guide, since the credit cards that I use in there fit snug, so it's the perfect size, and that's what I want to duplicate. The measurements come out to be 3.5 by 4 inches. However, since this cardboard is so thin, I am going to fold it over and glue those pieces together. If you have to do that, at that point it's 3.5 by 8 inches and then folded. After I glue it together, I'm now going to use this as my guide for cutting the fabric, which super simple. I just lay it on the placement that I want, and then I give myself about an inch allowance around the border. This way I have room for the tape to hold the fabric down when I treat it with OD coat. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so my math might be off by a bit, but figure it's 5.5 inches by 10 inches. And the way I figure that is the original 3.5 inches, so add an inch on each side, 5.5, and then the width wise, figure 4 and 4 is 8, and then don't forget to add an inch on each side is 10. So 5.5 by 10 should be the fabric. For the other two card slots, honestly, you can probably just do 4 by 6 and do that twice, and then just cut it down after the fact. Again, I just want to reiterate, this is if you're treating your fabric with OD coat. So if you're not treating it with OD coat, figure it's 3.5 by 8, because remember that back panel, you have to fold the fabric over, and then for the other two slots, maybe do 3 by 4 and then 2.5 by 4. Sorry, I know that was a ton of information at once, but now let's get assembling. I promise, measurements and math aside, this craft is actually super easy. First, I'm going to take that largest piece of fabric and I'm going to glue it to the cardboard, fold it over, smush, and then I'll go through with scissors just to clean up the edges. Next, I'm going to glue down our card holder slots. It's as simple as just putting glue around the border of the card holder, putting a piece of fabric down, and then doing it again, but kind of cascade it so they're not right on top of each other, if that makes sense. This is where it's okay if your fabric measures a little too big, because literally once you're done gluing it down, flip it over, and any of that white part, you're just going to cut away. Next, I'm going to move on to the border of the card holder. I like to start with the left and right side of the card holders, and I simply lay glue on the front and back. And since I'm using those wallet handles for my material, I'll take the card holder and I'll sandwich it in between the handle. I'll then press down firmly so it can adhere to itself and trim that excess from the bottom. I'll repeat these exact same steps for the other side, and I'm not worried about any excess glue because after the fact I'll go through with acetone to clean up any glue spots. I'm going to refer to the wallet handles as a leather material just so it's easier to communicate, but literally the next thing I do is I just take the leather material and I eye it out. I measure it one way, stretch, and I do an indent actually with my nail so I know where to cut. And then once we have the exact piece that will fit in between the two other leather pieces, I cut and I glue. It's literally that easy, and then I'll just repeat that exact same step for anywhere that I want that border. So the bottom, the other pocket, the top. I'll flip the card holder over and then do the top and bottom of that back side as well. Next, I go through with acetone, nail polish remover, whatever you want to call it, and I use a Q-tip and I just kind of clean up anywhere the excess glue. Acetone takes this stuff right off. Now normally acetone is always the last step to any one of my projects. However, for this one, my last step is actually going through with black leather paint and I fill in the very edges of the border. This just gives it a more completed look, and with that our card holder is done, so let's look at the final result. And here it is. It may not be perfect, but it gets the job done. It holds my credit cards and I can't complain. Now you see me putting one card in each slot, however, it does fit multiple. You can fit probably 2 in each, maybe 3. Flip it upside down, it ain't going nowhere. But alright guys, well thanks for hanging out with me today. If you want, feel free to like and subscribe. And until next time, bye friends.